Hello everyone. How many of you are present in the session today? Please give me a shout out. Those of you who haven't joined yet, please do so quickly so that we can start yet another exciting session on vocabulary. Please call your friends and make this session a big success. Join quickly, guys. So my name is Pradeep Sengupta and welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. Hi Nidhi, good afternoon. Moviz Malik, good afternoon Moviz. Nidhi, how are you people doing? Welcome to the class. Alright, I am good, I'm absolutely fine. Moviz, how are you doing? I hope you people are having a great time there. So, yes, IPMAT, we will be talking about IPMAT, and as you can see, the session says it's Verbal Ability Series. And you see, my team is wishing you a very warm good afternoon. So, and the idea of having these kinds of sessions for you to give you an insight of how the paper is going to look like, what will be the exam pattern, and what are the different sections that you may have to deal with when you talk about IPMAT and the other relevant exams. So we are having a series on English vocabulary. Good to know that, Movis. Good to know. All right, great. Rishabh Singh has joined. Good afternoon, Rishabh. How are you doing? So we have quite a few watching the series, so that actually gives us the inspiration to bring you the best of the best content at BYJU'S Exam Prep. And make no mistakes, we are one of the best test prep online platform in India right now, and you are watching the right kind of program today. So just in case you want to know more about BYJU'S and the IPMAT program that we are offering, please talk to our counselors. The information there is there in the description box. You can click and find out everything that you want to find out about IPMAT examination. So vocabulary is a big area, and we are going to focus on some of the specific question patterns which which has become a part of the IPMAT, the way they ask questions, the way they frame questions. So vocabulary as such, it's inexhaustive and the list goes on. So we don't have to know anything and everything of English words, but yes, what kind of questions are going to be asked and how do we prepare for such questions is what we are going to talk about. Moviz is asking us a question, but sir, the major issue with me is that I'm unable to remember the meaning of the words for a long I forget them. Okay, Moviz, so that's a pretty pertinent question that most of the students complain that however much we learn the words, the more we learn, the less we remember. Is that what your contention is? Is that what your idea is, right? And this is exactly what I used to feel. I used to experience the same problem, that whenever I would learn words, after a couple of days I would forget most of them. And the reason is that we learn words, right? The more we learn, the quicker we forget them. So the day you stop learning words, the day you start using the words, putting them into practice, right? You will be the king of the world of words, all right? And the most important thing is you must be able to use the words in every possible way. And this is exactly what we are going to be discussing today through some of the question sets. So what is the agenda of the session today? Let us set the agenda. The agenda is going to be, we will see different format of vocab questions being asked in IPMAT and what are the ways to solve those questions in no time. Board solver. Okay, board solver is here. Good afternoon. I believe you people were there in my class, in the previous class of mine, which I took on English vocabulary. I hope you enjoyed the session. And today's session is going to be equally exciting. So are we all set to start the session? Yes. So let's get going with the session today. All right. Now, I have selected a couple of words for you, right? And there are 5 sentences. All right. Look at the direction. The direction says, sir, I think I should use them in my jargon. Well, jargon is something which you can always, fall back on. But try to keep your English as straightforward as possible, as candid as possible. All right? Okay. Thank you, Movies, for watching that session. And here comes the first assignment, and we are going to solve it together. This is one, and it's a team effort, right? So I am not here to teach you anything, although you will learn in the due course of time. That's the beauty of it. But you and I, as a team, we are going to solve the questions together. And along the journey, we will try to understand what are the tricks and the techniques that we could apply to solve these questions in no time. All right. So it says in each of the questions below, correctly place the 5 given words into sentences that follow. Okay. Note that each word has multiple meanings, and the sentence often requires you to identify the less common connotation of the word to be inserted. Now here you can see the words. All right. Share, Catholic, default, brook, intimate. And you have 5 different situations in the form of sentences. Okay. Now in the next 1 minute, I will stop talking. I will leave you with this slide, and in 1 minute, try to fit in the correct word in each of the sentences, and then we will discuss each and every sentence together. It's a game. Let's start with the game. And this is a filler question. It's an FIB question. All right. Okay. So let's get going. I will be talking to you exactly 1 minute from now. Don't forget to share your answers if you have correctly found out which word to be inserted where. Right? Don't forget to share your answers. Share karte rahiyega. All right? Movies has replied 1 is default. Thank you, Movies. Rishabh has also replied 1 is default. All right. Thank you. Boat solver says 1. Okay, default. All right. It's a great going. Okay. Must take the initiative. Yes? Okay. So let us look at question number 1 very quickly. Banks usually do not approve loans to people with a poor credit history. Boat solver has answered 2 for the second one. All right, thank you. Let's look at the first one. Banks usually do not approve loans to people with a poor credit history. The risk of this is too high. Now, what is this risk that we are talking about? Let's look at the answer. Okay, the first one is default. Okay, what is default? Failure to repay the money that you have borrowed from bank. So that is defaulting. Okay, another default has a meaning, right? Another meaning is, right, pre-selected, something which has already been selected, pre-selected as an option. okay, with no alternative. Like we say default mode. You might have heard this term, default mode in computer. So that is another meaning. What are we dealing with? We are dealing with words having multiple meanings. So there can be two possible meanings of default, but we were looking at the first case, right? All right. Movis says 2 is intimate. Bot says 2 is sheer. Bot solver 4, he says it's Brooke. Thank you. And Movis says it's 3. 3 is Catholic. All right. Lovely answers. That actually helps me understand your thought flow, the way you are planning out your selection of words. It is just like Darwin's theory of natural selection. All right. Okay. So the first one is default. I hope you people have understood. Now let's look at the second one. The second one says Professor Anderson is a hard taskmaster. Now who is a hard taskmaster? A hard taskmaster is someone who is very strict and will dash no nonsense from his student. So what is the theme? What is the feeling? The feeling is he will not tolerate any nonsense from his students. So the meaning is tolerate. So let us see what the word is going to be. The word is Brooke. For the second one, the word is Brooke. Both solver has answered. Fifth one is intimate. Second one is sheer. All right. Now comes the explanation. Brooke has two meanings. Okay. The first meaning is a small stream, एक छोटी नदी. Remember Alfred Lord Tennyson's The Brook. The poem says, I come from haunts of coot and hern and make a sudden sally. Remember the poem? I don't know how many of you read this poem. It's a wonderful poem otherwise. Brook means a small stream. It is a noun, okay? Always try to, figure out the word with the help of its part of speech. Which part of speech does the word belong to? In this case, brook, which means a small stream, it's a noun. But the moment we use brook as a verb, it means to tolerate. Alright? So over here, feeling kya ja rahi hai? Feeling is he will not tolerate any nonsense. So brook also means tolerate. So that was the second blank for you. I hope you people have followed. Okay, Movis says yes sir. Okay, so you have read that poem, I believe. Okay. So this was the second word. Do you find it interesting? Alright. Okay. Now let's look at the third one. What is the situation? We are talking about Leonardo da Vinci had a truly dash range of hobbies. He was interested in everything. Now look at the selection of the phrase. He was interested in everything. That makes his nature broad. Okay? That makes him quite open, broad and open-minded, having many types of interest. So what can the word be to describe Leonardo da Vinci? Right? It's Catholic. Right? Now Catholic, right, can have two meanings. The first meaning is one of the, we talk about the Christian community, they are broadly divided into the Roman Catholics and the Protestants, right? So that is one of the Christian, community of people, the Catholic people. That is the first meaning, okay, related to the Christians, followers of Christ, Jesus Christ. And the second meaning of Catholic is broad-minded, quite broad, open, okay, candid, right, diverse. These can be the synonyms for Catholic. So over here, since he was interested in everything, that is why the word Catholic should have been used over here. I hope you followed it. Look at the fourth one. Fourth one says, in spite of the cold, she came to the party in a dash dress. In spite of the cold, she came to the party in a dash dress. Naturally, she soon regretted it. Just a second, guys. All right. Okay. Naturally, she regretted it. Now, what was she regretting? The answer is sheer. Okay. This is the answer. Now, sheer can have two meanings, right? It can be used as an adjective, okay, like very or absolute, like sheer anger, sheer arrogance. That's how the word is used, okay. The other meaning of sheer, which is an adjective again, it means very thin and transparent. Okay. Now this woman, what did she do? She came to the party in a sheer dress. This is the meaning. Naturally, she soon regretted it. Why? Because it was cold and she thought then that it was a bad idea to wear a sheer dress in the party. So that is sheer for you. All right? Okay. Now comes the fifth one. We are done with sheer. We have seen through Catholic. We have seen through default. We have seen through brook. Now we have one more word, and this is the obvious choice for the fifth one. It's intimate. Okay. Someone will have to intimate the changes in plans to the boss. Now, intimate as a verb means to convey a message, okay, to tell or to inform. That is intimate. Whereas intimate as an adjective, it means close, very close. They were intimate friends, okay, like intimate friends, right? Having a very good bonding, that is also intimate. So we have seen how one word can have multiple meanings, so the usage will also differ from situation to situation. I hope you have liked. Sheer is not complete, Movis. That can be one of the ways of looking at sheer, but sheer actually means transparent as an adjective, and it also means overall, complete, very complete arrogance, sheer arrogance. In that ways it is possible. You are right. In that ways it is possible, like it was a sheer attitude, right? Complete attitude. That ways it is possible. Absolutely right. But the other meaning is transparent. Okay. All right. So I hope you have liked the first assignment. So this was just to test our knowledge of words, that where do we stand. Now, looking at the different level of questions. Now, if you look at the question over here, right? This is how the IPMAT vocab questions will look like. This is an FIB question, a fill in the blanks question, where you have a sentence with a blank followed by 5 different options. Okay, and you have to answer in the best of possible ways. कौन सा option choose करेंगे to complete the meaning of the sentence. So can we do this question quickly? The question is, the Labour Party is gaining dash in the parliament. 1 says brickbats, 2 says scope, 3 says ascendancy, and it should be 4, right? It says time. Brickbats, scope, ascendancy, time. So which option would you go with? Thank you, Movis, for liking the assignment. Thank you. We will be bringing to you many more such assignments. So stay tuned. Let us solve this question. Sameer says 3, Sneha says 3, all right. Nidhi also says 3. Thank you for participating. What about the others? And as we solve these questions, all those who are present in the session today, please don't forget to like the session. If you at all are enjoying the session, please don't forget to like it. That goes a big way to inspire us faculty at BYJU'S Exam Prep. All right. Rishabh says scope. Thank you, Rishabh. Mrinalini says 3. Thank you. Movies also says 3. Okay. Now let us look at the answer option. What is the answer? Let's check. The answer is 3. Gaining what? Ascendancy. And what are the meanings? Gaining authority, gaining command, gaining control. When you ascend, okay, when you ascend like this, you go up, the graph goes up. It shows your growing power. So what do you gain? You gain ascendancy. All right, this is the best option. Brickbat means it's a critical remark, right? Quarrel, fight, argument, that's brickbat. Does not make any sense over here, isn't it? Scope means opportunity, freedom, leeway. It's a very good word. But you know what the problem is? It does not go with gaining. You don't gain scope, right? It will give you a wrong expression. It will be a wrong idiomatic expression. That is why we are not going with 2, okay? No opportunity, freedom and leeway. It does not go with gaining. Although, it was quite fair an option. Fourth one is absolutely out of context, does not make any sense, time. So we are going to stay with 3, ascendancy. This was the answer and most of you have answered it all right, okay? First challenge, wonderfully negotiated with. Are you ready for the next challenge? Can I take you to the next question? So that's how we are going to try and understand how words are asked in IPMAT and other BBA entrance exams. Let's check out one more. Okay, now we have 2 blanks. Ab maza aane wala hai. All right. It says, from the options below, choose the set that most appropriately fills up the blanks. That the artist went about systematically to get traditional dash back into the mainstream. Dash and the textile culture for dance. Textile culture for dance is to be celebrated. Okay. Understand the theme, go through the options very carefully and then key in the answer. Ayushi has answered A, Nidhi has answered D, all right. All right. My team is requesting you, my friends, please don't leave any chance out. Please like the session. Thoda sa like to banta hai. Please like it. Okay. Rishabh says A. Thank you, Rishabh. Thank you, Movis. Thank you, Nidhi, Ayushi. Thank you so much. All right. Great answers. I'm not saying it is right or wrong, but that you have participated itself makes it great. All right. Okay. So what is the question? The question is that the artist went about systematically to get traditional dash back into the mainstream dash. Right? Now imagine I'm saying get the work done. I am using a verb and a participle. Okay? Or the third form of the verb. Third form of the verb is a participle over here. So we need a verb over here. Okay? To get traditional what? I'm sorry, not a verb, a noun. Okay? To get what? Traditional dash back into mainstream. Now you are looking for something that could be brought back in what? And a textile culture for, now over here for means because, understand it. Okay, for can be, now this word for can be used as a conjunction, right, as well as a preposition. Let me give you an example. Now if I say I was waiting for you. Now in this sentence, what is for? It's a preposition, right? Because it is showing relationship. I was waiting for you. But the moment you say, I was absent, for I was sick. Now how do you use for over here? You are using for over here as because, showing reasons. So over here also you're showing a reason. For dance is to be celebrated. Now you're talking about something which is a piece of art. You're talking about something which is a piece of art. So you need a noun over here, okay, to get traditional dash back into mainstream. You're thinking of bringing back something into the art. So don't you think you are actually referring to something as a theme or an idea? Theme or an idea? Yes. So talking about an artistic work. So the option over here should be B, motifs created. Traditional motifs created, and a textile culture for dance is to be celebrated. Now we don't need C. Totem is a different meaning altogether. Please understand. What is totem, right? What is totem, right? Anyone? Now any object, Sneha says prep. Would you please elaborate, Sneha, what exactly are you asking me? Right? Right? Any object or animal or man for that matter, which is symbolic of, spiritual representation. Like we talk about Devi Durga riding on a tiger. So tiger is symbolic of bravery, isn't it? So elephant, is symbolized by Lord Ganesha, symbol of wisdom. So these are totems. These are totems, okay? Symbolic significance. When we talk about their representational feature. So those are totems. Over here, we need motive because we're talking about theme. Back into the mainstream, created. You need to create those motives and bring them back into the mainstream. If you look at the other options, that the artist went about systematically to get traditional practices processed, doesn't make any sense over here. Motives created, yes it does, because it's talking about dance, which is an art form. Totems, now in this situation, totems, they don't make any sense. All right, it talks about evolution or gradual development. Over here, there is no such theme discussed, right? Stories and described, again, it is out of context. That is why we are going to stick with B, motives created. So, right, however much you know the words, right, knowing the words absolutely is important, but at the same time, right, please analyze the situation, okay, and try to find out if the word is better suited in the given situation or not. All right, that is how you are going to find out the right kind of option to be used in the given context. Okay, and sometimes, just a second, guys, sometimes you don't have such luxury. You just have to look at the word and answer the question. For example, if I ask you a question, the question goes like this: what is indigent? And you have to guess the synonym of indigent, and your options are A, poor, B, rich, C, illiterate, okay, and D, healthy. What is the answer? Now, if you don't know, if you don't have a context like this, context gives you the food for thought. It makes you think. But if you don't have a context, you have to fall back on your memory. Indigent means poor, right? That is why the answer also should have been poor. But in IPMAT, let me tell you, such questions are present in other different exams, many other exams. But in IPMAT, you will get the clue from the question itself. All right, let us look at one more question very quickly. Okay, now you see what happens over here. You have been given a paragraph. Sometimes they check your vocab, okay, through reading comprehension passages. Okay, through reading comprehension passages. What happens? They give you a huge passage. I have just taken an excerpt, from somewhere. I have just taken an excerpt, and you have a question over here. So what you have to do, read the question, read the paragraph properly, right? Find out what is being asked, and then try to figure out what could be the possible meaning of that word in the given context. Right? This is also a very important question pattern as far as vocabulary is concerned. So I am going to give you some time to read this paragraph, look at the question, analyze all the options carefully, and then drive home the right answer. Let's begin. Muskan has answered C twice. Now, this is what I call confidence. Alright, she is very confident. Lost tread, not lost literally, but yes, that's the name she's using. He or she, I don't know the person. Okay, C. Pankhuri Gupta says D. Thank you, Pankhuri. Thank you, Lost. Thank you, Muskan. Sneha Sarkar says C. All right. Mrinalini says B. Okay. Thank you, Mrinalini. Movis says BB. All right. Nidhi also says B. Okay, thank you. Now let us look at the passage. Let's analyze the passage very quickly. Right? How does the passage begin? It says, the perennial debate over gender difference threatens to remain inconclusive. Why? The debate has been happening for since time immemorial. That's why the word perennial has been used. It's going on forever, right? And however much we have a debate, it still remains inconclusive. Okay, no result coming forth. Stereotypes pertaining to male superiority and female submissiveness. Now, we have a notion, we have an idea already, ingrained in our mind, and that is male will always think of himself to be superior and female will always think of herself to be docile and submissive, which is not the case. We know that, but this is how the stereotypes think. All right. Now, this kind of thinking could be traced to earlier ages where assigned roles were needed as survival measures. Now, there was a time. Now, right now in today's world, we need that women are moving head and shoulders with men, with their male counterparts. So there is not much of a difference. But in the era bygone, in the past ages, the women and the men, they both were assigned, typical tasks, okay, suitable for their sexes. Like males will do, they would have to-do list that, okay, males will do these many activities and they are fit to be done by males only. And females would restrict themselves to these many activities because they were considered to be fit to do those activities only. And why was it done? The author gives you the reason: for survival measures. All right. But can we today see a swing away from these stereotypes? Swing away, a diversion, a moving away. Okay. Waking up to a new dawn. Or have they established a stranglehold on our perception? Or is there a total control on our perception, on our ideas of looking at society, males and females? In this gendered world, now gender means being male or female, sex. But look at the way the word has been used over here. In this gendered world, we continue to live with notions. Notions means ideas. Okay. In this gendered world, we continue to live with notions that one's gender determines one's skills and preferences, from toys and colors to career choices. Now, this is getting interesting over here. Now, what kind of notions do we have in mind? The notions that we have in mind is, Muskan says B is more appropriate. Okay. Who is preparing for BBA entrance? Okay, I think this is not the question for me. All right. Sir, who takes quant? Don't worry, Prathamesh, we have the most able faculty taking up quant for IPM BBA. You must watch out. You must, keep, just stay connected with us and you will come to know what kind of quant sessions we actually design for our students. Just don't worry. Okay, they are one of the best in India at the moment. They are the few of the best in India right now. Okay, all right. So from the toys, we have different toys for girls and different toys for boys. I know that if it is a boy, we'll talk about the PlayStation. If it is a girl, we'll talk about a Barbie doll. So this is stereotypical thinking, isn't it? So the girl child will be presented with a Barbie doll, while a boy child will receive a Lego set. So even we have demarcated the toys, like, which toy would go to the girls and which would go to the boys. So that's how the first paragraph ends, or this paragraph ends. Now the question is, by referring to the word gendered, the writer wants to convey that. What does the writer want to convey? A says, gender differences can be detected right from childhood. Can this be figured out from this word? B says, society continues to be fixated on gender stereotypes, means obsessed with gender stereotypes. That is fixation, right? C says, one's gender is bound to determine one's abilities, right? And look at the formation of the sentence and the words used. One's gender is bound to, is most certain to determine one's abilities. Are abilities dependent on gender? Had that been the case, women would not have been flying, aeroplanes. They would not have gone into the military, isn't it? Or for that matter, they would not have done anything else but, trying their hands at culinary skills, isn't it? Okay. 4. Now, there has to be one more option. The debate on gender difference will never be resolved. Can we get the answer to this question, the meaning of gender, from any of the options? The best option over here is B. Society continues to be fixated on gender stereotypes. Okay? C does not give you, now C is maybe an option, but does it answer the question? Does it answer the question? Does it tell you the meaning of gender? This cannot be the meaning. Look at the way the word gender has been used in the passage. It says, in this gendered world, we continue to live with notions that one's gender determines one's skills. This is a wrong notion, isn't it? This is a wrong notion. We don't buy this notion. We don't buy this idea. That is why we say that our society seems to be fixated on gender stereotypes and exactly what gender is according to this paragraph. Have you followed? Have you followed? All right. So the answer was B, and I have taken this question from, you can see the source also, IPMAT 2019. You can check it out. It was there in one of the RC paragraphs. All right. So this is how vocab questions are going to be tested. Now, one of you said that, sir, I keep on forgetting the words. Okay. How do I remember the words? Now, that's a beautiful question. Now, let's try some hands. Let's try our hands on some of the words. Okay. All right. I'll give you 5 words today. Okay. It's a take home for you. Right. Number 1. Let's use the word flux, indefatigable, perfunctory, quisling, and 5, enervated. Let's say these are the 5 words. Now, how to remember them, right? I always tell my students to follow the RFU method. And when it comes to you, follow these 2 methods, SAST. Right? Now, what does R stand for? All those who attended my last session can tell me, what is R? R means recognize. F means feel. U means use. Okay, let me give you an idea. Right? Indefatigable, one who cannot be defeated, Movis. I am so sorry, this is not what it means. Okay, I'll give you the idea. Just stay with me. Now, why do I say remember with the help of feel the word? How do you feel the word? When you assign an image to the word. For example, I write down this, right? Now, how do you look at this expression? Do you look at this expression as in spelling, or do you look at this expression, in an image? Right? S for spelling, write I for image. Do it right now. Let me see. S for spelling, I for image. Lost Thread has just answered. He says I, image. Okay, wonderful. So you know the answer. It's I, not the spelling. Shah Rukh Khan, King Khan. So image. You remember the words with the help of images, right? So, right, Pooja, image. So what are we supposed to do? Give these words some images. Assign them some images. Okay. Flux. What is flux? Flux means continuous change. Okay. For example, the share market, right? The share market. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay. It's the share market, isn't it? Okay. So how do we say? Now make a sentence with it. How do you make a sentence with it? Okay. Share market is always in a state of flux. It goes on changing. Our universe is expanding. It is always in a state of flux. Yes? Flux. Share market. Give it an image. Ab tum dekho, tum nahi bhuloge. Okay? Indefatigable. Indefatigable. Fluctuate. Yes, going up and down. Diksha, absolutely right. Now, this word, the second one, comes from fatigue. What is fatigue? Fatigue means tired or tiredness. Okay, the fatigue is a noun, so tiredness. Indefatigable, one who does not get tired easily. So tirelessly. Tirelessly. And the biggest example of an indefatigable worker in your house is your respected mother. From the morning till the time we go to bed, she's constantly working. She's constantly working. So imagine your mother, okay? She is indefatigable. She is relentless. She is absolutely, she does not seem to be tired at all, okay? Restlessness is a different word, lost dead. Restlessness means you are not at peace. It does not mean without rest, right? Indefatigable means tired, tireless. I can work tirelessly. I can work indefatigably. Okay, that is tiredness. Indefatigable. Your mother. Image de do. Perfunctory. What is perfunctory? Perfunctory means something which is done as duty or unwillingly. Something which is done as duty or unwillingly. Suppose you are still going to your school because your attendance is falling short of 75% and you're going to the school just for the heck of it, right? And the teachers are coming to the class, they're lecturing away, and you are just going to the school perfunctorily, okay? More as a duty, okay? Not willingly. So you're going to school just to make up for those lost attendance is perfunctory visit. Understood? So that's perfunctory for you. All right? Okay. Quisling. Another word for traitor. Okay. Now imagine the figure, an image of a person who is selling secrets, leaking secrets to the enemy country. A figure of a person who is leaking secrets to the enemy country. He is a quisling. He is a traitor. Okay. And the last word is enervated, means very tired, physically and mentally, exhausted. All right, absolutely right. Cursory, yes, Muskan. Now I think you have used this word for perfunctory. Yes, perfunctory, cursory, quick. The moment you remember the words, the moment you know the meanings, now the next question would be how to remember them. You know the meaning, now how to remember them. Use the U technique. Okay, use the U technique. What is U technique? SA. SA means speak aloud, right? And ST means several times. Speak aloud several times. So that is ST, RFU, SAST. Because it is said in English that the moment you speak a word, it starts breathing. But as long as the word is kept in your mind, you are choking it to death. Don't do that. Don't suffocate the word. Let the word breathe. And how do the words breathe? When you utter them, when you speak them, when you repeat them. Because repetition is the only way to success. So use as many sentences as you can to use these words. Right? To use these words time and again. Take out some time. Think of these words and do this on a daily basis. Because it is quite a painful process remembering the words, right? Don't try to learn them by heart. Use them rather. The moment you do that, it becomes your character. It becomes your habit, and habit maketh a character. So that is how we are going to stick to words and try to solve such questions on a daily basis. Refer to a good book, read newspapers on a daily basis, carve out words, take words out, write them down on a piece of paper and remember them. Okay? Take time to use 5 new words every day and remember them along with their synonyms and antonyms. I hope you have enjoyed the session today on vocab, and many such sessions will be lined up for you in the times to come. And that brings us to the end of today's session. BBA IPM Entrance Exam 22. This is what it is going to be, right? Avail flat 20% off on our program. For queries, you can call on the given number or write into us at support@BYJU'S I hope you have enjoyed the session. And also, guys, the IPMAT Entrance Test 2022 the classes are underway. If you want to join a comprehensive program for 23, please talk to us today and call on the given number. All right. Thank you from our side, from the entire team of BYJU'S Exam Prep. So tell me prepositions which are used with enervate. Enervate does not need a preposition. Enervated is an adjective. You need a preposition with verbs. Yes, if you can use it as a verb, then definitely we'll talk about prepositions. But the moment I say I was enervated, it's an adjective. So for this, you don't need any preposition as such, but depending on the situation, right? All right. So that's a wrap from my side. Thank you very much for joining, and don't forget to like the session, comment on the session, and subscribe to our channel, BYJU'S Exam Prep. Wish you all the very best. Bye-bye.